Making your way back into the room, bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. As you inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. And back to the heart center. 2 more times. And then allow your arms to float down to the side. And just inhale, get this slow, long, deep breath up. And exhale back. And moving to the other side, keep going like that. And then begin moving side to side. Making this side to side movement just an extension of this stretch. It's just an extension. And the next time your right arm is up and over, taking all the time you need, stay here and breathe. And transitioning to the other side. And making your way back up. And then just inhale, bring both arms up, lift up and look up. So feel the opposing forces, the connection to the earth through your sits bones and the lifting of Udana Vayu from the heart center up through the tips of the fingers. And exhale back down. And bring your hands to your belly, lengthen, and gently twisting to the right. And back to center. And left. And back to center. Keep going from side to side. And the next time you come to center, stay here, bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. And let's add arms to the twist. Inhaling up. Exhale, twist to the right, arms come out. Inhale up. Twisting to the left, floating the arms down. And really pay attention to the twist up to the collarbone and then the alignment of the arms, because it's really a temptation to try and make your twist look deeper by misaligning the shoulders. One more twist to your left. And then make your way to the center and float the arms down. And just roll the shoulders forward and up and down the back a few times. Take all the time you need. So let's take 3 deep twists. First to the right, so bring your left hand to the inside of your left knee, right hand by your right hip. Lift and lengthen and slow deep twists to the right. Navel, ribs, chest, turning the head. Stay here and breathe. And then coming back to the front, head, shoulders, chest, and belly. And then that slow, deep twist to the right, from the navel to the top of the collarbone, turning the head. And back to the front. And one more time, that slow, deep twist to the right. And back to the front. Bring your arms down and go ahead and inhale, lift up, look up just one time here, and then exhale back. And now twisting to the left. So right hand to the inside of the right knee, left hand by the left hip, lengthen, slow deep twist. We'll hold the first one. Back to the front, head, shoulders, chest, belly. And again, a slow, deep twist to the left. And back to the center. One more twist to your left. And back to center. Bringing the arms up, lifting up, looking up. See if you can find some extra length in the torso. And floating the arms back down. And let's just bring the right arm across as you inhale and down as you exhale, and the left arm. So just going from side to side. Go one more time, each side. And then just sit up nice and tall. Just take a few breaths. And let's transition into cat-cow. So rounding forward and then arching into cow. Pay attention to the fluidity of the spinal column. So each vertebra only moves a little tiny bit, but if every vertebra is doing its share of the work, you will have a lot of flexibility, a lot of movement in the spine. You can also notice the connection of the spine to the pelvis, because the sacrum is part of the, it's really part of the pelvis as well as part of the spine. And so the whole pelvis will rock forward and back. with this movement. The next time you come up to a neutral position, stay here. And then a little holographic wave. And then you can bring that to a close, excuse me, and go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together in Bakasana. Right here. Sitting up nice and tall. And let's go ahead and hinge forward and lifting up. One more time, forward and up, and then we're going to hinge forward and hold it. So forward and up here. And then hinging forward, bringing your hands out, lengthening, and then bending the elbows as much as your body will allow this morning, keeping the spine long and straight. And then lengthen a little bit more and go ahead and release. So you want to think about coming up and over as you release forward so that you're not compressing the anterior vertebra as you're lengthening and then releasing. Now come back to the half forward fold. And just walk your hands over to the right, stretching into the side bodies, into the hips. Stay here for some breaths. Walking the hands back to center. And walking the hands over to the left, staying here for some breath. And then come back to center, lengthen, and walk your hands back and come all the way up to sitting here. And then go into some holographic wave. And then come back up to sitting. And if you have your yoga blocks handy, bring those out in front here. And then I want you to come down on your forearms on the blocks, and then from here engage in some holographic waves. So if this is too tight, if you can't find any space to move, you can always come up. And as a matter of fact, you might try this to see what's up here, to get some wave action going here. And then if you want to come down further, you can try it down further too. And then go ahead and lengthen the spine from here, and then move the blocks out Lengthen and then hinge forward and release forward. Let the weight of the head gently pull you towards your feet and breathe here. See if this has changed. And then go ahead and lengthen the spine. Walk your hands back and press your shoulders back up over your hips. And then bring your right leg out. Your left heel is in the midline of the body. Sit up nice and tall and flex this right foot and bring your left arm out. And let's just come up and over. And exhale back. Keep going. So the next time you come up and over, just stay here and breathe. And then see if you can take this right hand and take hold of the toes, pressing through the heel, breathing here. If you can't take hold of your toes, you can press into the shin like this. Inhale as you lift up. Bring the arms down and lengthen. And let's do cat-cow here. And then a little holographic here. And then sitting up nice and tall here, just lift both arms up. And release back down and switch up sides. And you can go ahead and make sure you flex this left foot and coming up and over. Exhaling back. Remembering one side will always feel different. I think it will always feel different. Maybe not, but for most of us, it will. And the next time you come up and over, we'll stay here and breathe. And as you're ready, you can reach with that left hand, see if you can take hold of the toes. That just adds a little more tensegrity to the leg, to that left leg. Make sure you're engaging the quadriceps. So try that technique of engaging the quadriceps. See if you can find the length in the hamstrings. And when you're ready, engage the bandhas. Come back up. Lowering the arms, lengthen. And I think we did this. So do this to neutralize before. I don't know if we did or not, but we'll do it here. Just to neutralize that, that bending over before we go into some cat-cow. Inhaling, rounding forward. Exhale. And then let that morph into some holographic. Bring that to a close, lengthen the spine. And again, just lifting the arms up, lengthening. Take a few breaths here and back down. And let's make our way onto our hands and knees into tabletop. And go ahead and start with some cat-cow here. Make sure you lengthen as you come into the cow. And then go ahead and move into holographic and make sure that you kind of tension into the mat with your hands and knees a little bit to give this tensegrity. And then bring that to a close and come into child's pose with your elbows bent and just release over your legs and take some breaths here. You can gently shift your weight from shin to shin, getting some lateral motion into the knees and hips. And then bring that to a close. Stretch your arms forward, hinge up, coming into this modified plank. Making your way to puppy pose. Let's stay in puppy pose for a few breaths. So while you're here, energetically think about lifting those sits bones up towards the ceiling, lengthening through the upper back. And then slowly make your way to child's pose. And then let's just start flowing through this, coming to modified plank, puppy, and child's pose. So just flowing with your own breath. You can go inhale forward and exhale back. Or if you need to breathe more frequently, you can inhale forward, exhale puppy, inhale here with a little tiny cat, and exhale child. So it's up to you. And a lot of times, as a teacher, if I'm given a choice about how to do something in a class, I'll try it both ways because I want to see how they both feel. The next time you come up to table, stay here and move your hands back under your shoulders. Reach forward with your right arm, left leg into this Chakra Bakasana variation. And then bring them back. And then left arm, right leg, and come back. Now this time, right arm, left leg. And when you come back, just melt into a child's pose. So notice this child's pose is a lot different than the other one because your elbows are closer in. And then as you come up, slide your left hand right arm. So the balance becomes more of a flow into the balance, and then flowing back into child's, and then right arm, left leg flowing into Chakra Bakasana, and exhale back to child's, and keep going like this. So hopefully when you're doing this, you get that same sense of transition that you get in that thing we do standing up, shifting our weight from foot to foot. We'll go one more time each side. So right arm, left leg, and child's pose, and left arm, right leg, and child's pose. Slide your arms forward, and let's come up into downward facing dog. And once you're in the dog, your choice of what you'd like to do. Sometimes I like to just be still in the pose. Sometimes I really want to walk the dog. You might want to wag the tail of the dog. So just moving your hips from left to right. It's a great side body stretch. And then there's also holographic in your downward facing dog, which is really a great way to work out the kinks. And then once you've moved, if that was your desire, take the static pose, take a few breaths. And then make your way down onto your knees and get to yoga blocks. We'll do some long lunges. So starting with the right foot forward, left leg back. And just go ahead and hinge forward and back. Remember, this is one of the only stretches that we have that stretches into that left hip flexor. So Denise was talking about this yesterday with the teen boys, especially runners, and really most sports, if you think about it, involve running. So baseball, football, soccer. And so for runners, that hip flexor will be tight. And I would think, so I'm no running coach, but I would think if you open that up when you're running, that gives the back foot more energy to push off for the next step forward. If that muscle is a little bit longer and can take that step. I don't know. So let's take that lizard stretch again when you come forward, bringing the block in your right hand to the inside, hinging forward onto your forearms, and you can have the block in any position you like. Square the hips when you're down here and just breathe into the belly. And then make your way up as you're ready. Hinge back and switch up sides, bringing your left leg forward. And here we go on this side, hinging forward and back. Again, paying attention now to that right hip flexor. And the next time you come forward, stay here. Take the block in your left hand to the inside. Lower down and lengthen here. And slowly making your way back up. Drawing that leg back. And come to facing the long way of the mat and take your 2 yoga blocks. Let's just do swinging gate pose. So you might just want 1 block here, actually. And bring your right leg out, flex the toes, and try to square the hips to the long end of the mat here, and keep that foot flexed because that'll protect the knee. And then, oh, I know what we want. I'm sorry. We want 1 block on each side of us. So 1 block here and 1 block here. And then bring the right hand onto the block here, come up and over, and then through the center and to the other side. So this just brings a little more use of the thigh into the same thing we did seated on the floor. Really, the upper body is working in either the same or a really similar way, but the lower body is working differently. And I've seen this taught where people will have teachers will have the students point that right toe and put that foot flat on the ground, but I think this is better protection for the knee. And the next time you come to center, just pull this right leg in and we'll switch up sides. So flexing this foot, lengthening the spine, and the right arm comes up and over. And back through. One more time each side. And then bring that to a close and go ahead and make your way up to standing. And to get enough length for you to see me, I have to rearrange my stuff a little bit. So if you need to rearrange, do that. I think I'm going to turn my mat. Yeah. 2 yoga blocks. And then come to standing in Tadasana. And just take a few breaths here, allowing yourself, you just want to resettle. And then bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Inhale, sweep the arms up, lift up, look up, and exhale down the midline. Let's just do this a few times. So know that however you move your body, that's what the energy is going to do, right? So this is going to lift the energy up into the head. So if you're drowsy and sleepy and just want to kind of re-energize, this is a great thing to do. If you're nervous and jittery, this might not be the thing. Go one more time. Bring your hands to the fronts of the legs, bend the knees, slide down and up 3 times. And then come back up to standing, bring your hands to the heart, and we'll do half forward fold with the arms. So inhaling up, and exhale, rolling the palms up, hinging forward. Inhale, back up. Exhale, down the midline. Inhale up. Exhale, half forward fold. Inhale up and exhale. Keep going. One more time like this. And back to mountain pose. Now, bring your hands to the heart center. Oh, I'm sorry. Get 2 yoga blocks and bring them here. We're just going to work on some forward folds a little bit. Inhaling up. Exhale, half forward fold, coming to full forward fold, placing your hands on the blocks and breathing here. Inhale, back through half forward fold, come all the way up. Bringing the hands down the midline. So let's do a few touch and goes this morning. So you just want to make sure you're in your legs with this. You can just tap the earth or the blocks, come back up, and bring your hands down the midline. Inhale up, hinging forward. Make sure you're hugging the muscles to the bone in the legs, and right back up. 2 more times like this. And the last one. And mountain pose. Bringing your hands to the heart center. Inhale up, come into your full forward fold. And stay here and breathe, hands on blocks. And then bend the knees, lengthen the spine, and then press the knees towards straight, staying in that full forward fold. Do that a few times, bending the knees, the sits bones come back, straightening the knees, lengthening into full forward fold. And one more time, bend. And one more time, straighten, breathe here. Inhale as you lift up. Exhale down the midline. Inhale up. Exhale, come back into your full forward fold. Lengthen and release. A few breaths here. And now on your next inhale, straighten the elbows, come to half forward fold. Exhale, bend the elbows, release to full. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, releasing to full. And one more of those, one more half. One more full, and then stay here and breathe. And if your hands will come onto the mat and you want to do that here, you can do that. And when you're ready, come through half forward fold all the way up to standing. Bring your hands down and then stand in mountain pose. Step your feet out. Bring your hands here. And just take a few times to center yourself, to get this fluidity into the body. And then you can bend the knees, bring your weight onto the right foot, roll up on the ball of the left, doing that a few times. And then as you're ready, you can lift the toe. And then if you want to morph this into the Vrikshasana, you can do that. If you want to stay where you are, you can do that. And then the next time both feet are flat on the floor, breathe here. Go ahead and bring your 2 blocks forward. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra at the heart center. And inhale as you sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees, stepping back with the right and coming up into warrior one. Open to warrior two. Come back to warrior one. Hinge forward, step forward. Inhale up and down the midline. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping back with the left. Lifting up to warrior one. Opening to warrior two. Back to warrior one. Hinge forward. Step forward. Inhale up. And exhale. Let's go again just like that. Forward fold. Back with the right. Warrior one. Warrior two. Warrior one. Hinge forward. Step forward. Coming up. Down the midline. Left side. Hinging forward. Stepping back with the left. Warrior one. Warrior two. One. Hinge forward. Lifting up. Down the midline. Tadasana. So we're just going to add the dancing warrior and the Trikonasana with arm circles this time. So hands to heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping back with the right. Warrior one. Warrior two. Now side angle, so the right arm comes up and over. And reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Straighten that left knee and tip over into Trikonasana, moving the block if you need to. And then those big arm circles with this right arm, inhaling up and over, exhaling down and across. And the next time this right arm comes up, stay here. Turn your head to look up towards the right fingers. Looking down towards the left foot, bending the left knee, coming up to warrior two. Arms up overhead, back to warrior one. Hinge forward. Step forward. Inhale up. Exhale down the midline. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping back with the left. Warrior one. Warrior two. Side angle pose, left arm up and over. Back through warrior two. Reverse warrior. Back through warrior two, straightening that right knee, hinging over, coming into Trikonasana. And making those big arm circles with the left arm. Inhaling up and over, Exhale the arm down and across. And the next time that left arm comes up, stay here. Take the static pose. Make any little micro adjustments, turning the head to look towards the left. And when you're ready, turn your head to look to the right. Bend the right knee, press into the feet, engage the pelvis, and lift up. Straighten the knee. I'm sorry, stay in warrior two. Come back to warrior one. Hinge forward. Step forward. Inhale up. Exhale down the midline, staying in Tadasana, taking a few breaths. And I'd like to go through it one more time, each side, and I'll give you a chance to just do it on your own. So it's warrior one, warrior two, dancing warrior, Trikonasana. So if you can remember those four things, you should be able to remember it. So bringing your hands to the heart center. I'm not going to say a word when you're done, just stand in mountain pose. Do right and left side. Notice your breath. Notice your heart rate. Notice your Tadasana. And then go ahead and make your way onto your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the yoga mat. And release into the earth. And feel the weight of your body. Feel how, if you feel heavy in the earth, appreciate that. And again, notice your breath. Let the breath be whatever it needs to be. And when you can do so without struggle, deepen and lengthen the breath. Just notice without judgment. Let the belly be soft and elastic. And then arms and legs flow, bringing the right knee in, the left arm comes up and over as you straighten, and then bending and floating back down. And the other side. And bringing that to a close, bringing the knees in and making big hip circles with both legs going in the same direction. You can let the low back rock and roll a little bit here. And reversing that, going back the other way. And then bring that to a close, come to Supta Dandasana. Reach, 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 reach through the heels. And you can point and flex the toes. And then you can make big ankle circles go in one direction. Reverse, making big ankle circles going the opposite direction. Flex the feet, reach through the heels, and then bend the knees, lower one foot and then the other, and make your way into Shavasana. Get any props you would like to have. And make yourself comfortable. So as you're ready, move and stretch, taking all the time you need.